authorized shippers, but the ones that's DeSantis bringing them over here to Florida, the Tampa.
Oh, it's just a PR show. That's all it is.
Well, no, one PR show. Look, CEO ain't here. I wish he was. So this is also affecting Israel's economy. We have a couple of Israeli companies that we were talking to that we've had to stop the discussion, during this. You can't keep one of the things what Iran's idea is, and they've lost, I think, 74 missile launchers, which is a lot. But if they can keep this constant bombardment up of Israel, eventually 2 weeks from now, it starts to affect the Israeli economy. They've had some damage to the oil infrastructure.
Are you addressing what I said, or are you saying something else? Because I'm talking about the DeSantis thing with the National Guard. All of that is all the extra stuff, and that's the PR show. That's what I'm talking about.
My bad. I'm sorry. I was thinking you said some. My bad, Scotty. You're right.
What's wrong with you, boy? So you gonna say, I'm sorry? What up, Trent?
I've been drinking, nigga. CEO.
I know you last night calling Matt your nigga. Telling you was a boy.
I want to say one thing real quick to Lisa. I apologize for earlier if I was rude. You know I love you. It's Friday. I'm gonna. Is replays on? Replays is on. I can't say what I was going to do. But I think you should talk to the CEO about the long-term implications of the economy on this deal.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I was just messing with you, Trent, being irritated at the same time. Because when you came in here and said that Trump had a news conference and it sounded like one of the best clear. You used a word. I don't know what that word. Succinct. And we went back and played it, and I was like, what is going on with Trent? I have more respect for his intelligence than for him to come in here and say this, and we listened to this nutcase. Have you guys heard this
Lisa,
thing?
Trent was drunk when he told you this, love.
Okay, because did you hear it, April? Because I can play the.
I haven't heard it, but I know it's gonna be some fucking word salad bullshit.
Yeah, play it, Lisa.
And please, you guys, listen carefully to your president.
Trent was drunk since last night. Trent, put this shit down, man. You've been drunk since last night, bro.
Hey, listen, we have a barbecue down here in Texas for Juneteenth. You need to get your fucking ribs with the whiskey.
Yeah, you told Matt you was his boy last night.
Yo, Bruce, settle down.
Patty, did you say he's been drunk since last month?
Definitely have.
Hey, let me tell you what's going on. There's no flights out of Israel right now. There's no flights. There's no way that citizens could get out of Israel right now. And they're continuously bombing Iran and continuously continue this damn shit. Why don't have a ceasefire? Let the people leave, and they can fire and bomb the military each other.
Okay, Rob, can I ask my question?
They actually are getting out of there. This is crucial.
One plane at a time, 9 million people. One plane at a time, 270.
Wait, Rock, can I ask the question? Can you answer the question that I asked before? I will ask it again. What do you want to happen over there, ideally?
Oh my God, this is crazy.
What is crazy about a simple question like that?
Does he shirt out every time you ask this question? Does he shirt out?
No.
What's going on?
What do you mean? I'm here for you guys, so you guys can take the answer. What I want to happen over there, I want all the military leaders to get with the military leaders in Iran and go in the stadium and they go fight and leave the people alone.
Okay.
See, he wants to do Hunger Games. That works.
For them. Because like I said, if I have certain intelligence like the Prime Minister does, I would know that Iran would bomb my ass back. Okay? I would know that. Meaning that my citizens would be warned to get the fuck out of Dodge 2 days prior to that. But that's not the game they're playing. They don't care about us. Like the esoteric world says, we are in the soul prison planet. Maybe they're right. Maybe our leaders trying to see the first one that's going to free us. Literally. Because that's the math that they're mathing to. You get that? The same math as in Ukraine could beat Russia. Nigga, can Cuba beat America?
Okay, you guys.
Well, that's where you lost me.
What the?
I'm being honest to you. It's the same thing.
Wait, that's where he lost you?
What the hell?
I know it's shocking.
This is a little
nuts. My head is hurting. Wanted to hear this.
Stupendous.
Yeah. I think CEO's just trying to fuck with us.
You know, we got your back, but CEO, you messy for this.
I know, and not only that, he tells them and then he leaves us with this shit.
I wanted to entertain.
You guys can go into a back personal channel back there, and he can entertain you all night.
You see this shit? You come to the 4020 lounge for the entertainment. Because he know damn well he ain't doing that shit now when we would have dropped that.
Rocks at the top of my list.
Yeah, I don't get this shit.
Dr. A.G. would have been said,
that is clear. It is clear that you don't get this shit, sir. Clear as a bell.
Every city in America, there's a person on Clubhouse.
Okay, I can't, you guys. I'm serious. You guys, okay, stop. I can't.
What's wrong with you, Lisa? You like my voice? You
get I just don't, right now. Yeah. God, I can't, you guys. I'm really
I put him in a hard time out.
Y'all tripping right now.
I put him in a hard time out.
Thank you, because this, I've been working all day. I don't want to really be coming in here playing like this. This is crazy. If he was adding something to the conversation, I would be more than happy to entertain it. But he's not adding shit to this conversation. I don't even know what he's talking about. All right.
And he has kids, too. God help us.
And he's talking about it in his office. What the F? Hold on. I'm going to play this clip so you guys can hear. Trent is gone. The people who cause all this motherfucking confusion, they come in and they leave. They come in and they leave. They drop a big turd in the middle of my living room and then they leave. They come back and they ask, where's the turd? And I said, I cleaned that shit up, and they do another turd. So I'm trying to get this back on track here. We're talking about Trump and the intelligence. He just shit on Tulsi and everybody else who works for the United States Intelligence Division by telling the world that we don't know, that his intelligence is wrong. So should the rest of the world trust us? Our intelligence, if our own president is saying that the intelligence is wrong? I don't understand why people's hair is not on fire when this man is talking.
And if he is so against Iraq invasion, why isn't he demanding proof of the weapons of mass destruction that Iran has from the intelligence division?
Or from Israel?
Yes. Lisa, you talk about intelligence. The question I have is, my understanding is that in order for the U.S. to go to war, there has to be a declaration of war by Congress. So if he dropped this bomb, but he's going to start a war first, then go back and ask for Congress, even though Congress is, both the House and the Senate are just kowtowing to whatever demands are. But the question is, before you send your American lives to be killed, unless Iran hits a bunch of American assets, people or ships or something, then I could see United States retaliating in the most aggressive manner possible. But anything other than that, shouldn't Congress just make an act first, enact the War Powers Act for him to do that?
Yep. He can say preemptive.
So he can say a preemptive strike? Even though if American targets are not hit?
Israel's already building an narrative for their stuff.
So he can launch airstrikes. He can do certain things without authorization. And only thing he has to do is give Congress 48-hour notice that he's deploying soldiers. He has 60 days that he can fucking have them out there, and then there's a 30-day that they'd have to deploy back. The thing is, a lot of Congress is probably gonna fund it because you got soldiers out there and they want to make sure that they get funding.
Can I just say another thing? In 2018 at the Helsinki summit, you might remember when Trump said that he didn't believe that Russia or Putin that interfered in the 2016 election. He later said he misquoted or he misspoke, but it's not the first time that he's decided that the U.S. intelligence service doesn't know what they're doing and he knows better. So it's just form for this guy.
I know someone mentioned about a second warship being sent to the Middle East area. My question from the Asian Pacific region, my concern then, China.
Can we handle your first question first, NW? Do any of you?
Yes, it is.
Lisa, are you going to play the clip?
Yes, someone responded.
I was just wondering if any of you mods want to jump in and help this young man with his inquiry. And was it satisfied, NW? Because you
yes, it was.
Another question.
Yes, it was satisfied. Someone gave the dates, what Congress has to do, have 48 hours. Someone did respond.
Okay,
on the process.
All right. And before I play this clip, NW, what's your next question? Because I have really smart green beans up here. And while they're here and still awake and not, hey, Water, I might as well add one green bean that's not really that smart. There you go, Green. Can you ask your second question before they all go to sleep? Or
yes.
With that, you're going to take
Yes, very quick. It's just a very short question. I think if Trump puts more military assets towards by Israel, and what's the concern that China is looking at Taiwan? What that impact may be? That's my concern, because I can see if Taiwan then goes after Taiwan, we really will have a global war, a world war at that point.
Any of the moderators want to answer his question? Hey, Ed.
Yeah, I actually wanted to comment on that question specifically. This is all theory. This isn't anything that I read, but I actually think China is analyzing Trump's moves with respect to violence in the Middle East to try and anticipate how he would respond to an emergency in Taiwan. So they're looking at how he, kind of rides the fence and saying, is he more prone to be aggressive, or, what would he do? Should we do something aggressive in Taiwan? I really think they're doing that.
That's interesting, Ed. I like that. I like your take on that.
Yeah, that's good, Ed.
Good job, Ed. Always good to have you on stage.
Always. Okay.
So China's playing chess, and Trump is playing hopscotch.
Monopoly.
I don't know. No.
You guys are. Damn.
We have to protect Taiwan. That is the world's computer chips, whatever else and stuff that's held over there, cobalt, all that other stuff. So, yeah, it's really, really strategic, and it's really important that channel stays open and that America does whatever necessary to keep that channel and those waterways open. For real, because it'd be a disaster if China closes that off.
I don't even understand what you're saying. What waterway?
Taiwan, the straits and stuff up through Taiwan and all that opens up, So, yeah, I was talking about up along Taiwan and their straits and stuff, and keeping that open, not only to military traffic, but commercial traffic. China has always wanted to cut off the straits and not allow other ships except for what they select. Well, they don't really own the middle part of that water. That's international. So there are some problems when you try to encroach in international waters because nobody owns that. So that's why America would certainly get on the ball to keep those international waters open.
Can anyone add or subtract to what Ashton just said? Because I'm kind of confused.
I can subtract.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Y'all not know what I'm talking about. No, straight.
He's
wow, he's like I said, a science. What is going on? I thought I was clear and concise. My God.
Can you say it again, please? I want to listen closely.
Shut up, CEO.
No, I'm being serious. I'm being serious.
Go ahead, because I don't understand.
I was just
saying what you said, because we got all this intelligent green people here.
Just essentially saying that America would do whatever's necessary to keep international waters open, and they would not allow for Taiwan to be attacked by China. It would be absolutely devastating if that channel is cut off. It is important to keep that channel open to military traffic, and not only military, but commercial cargo traffic. China shuts that off, it would be a disaster for a lot of the world. They'd have to go around long ways, and that wouldn't work out for a lot of ships and stuff, long routes. So that's just stuff I think about when I'm looking at this globe on my table.
For trade, I heard her. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to keep the trade open, and if that trade is shut off in international waters, that could be a global disaster around the world. Those international waters allow all ships to bear in that strait. Go ahead.
But if they block the strait, our Navy ships will be stuck in there from the Yemen and missiles. So if that little gap is closed...
Who brought Rock up?
You guys, Ashton, you talk to them. From now on, I talk to Ashton. Ashton, you talk to me.
Well, y'all don't have no private conversations on my stage. What I'm saying. I don't know that. Okay, let me play this clip. Y'all stop playing. Hi, 10. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the stage, 10. How are you?
Well, go on. More jump in on this, so,
Okay, got you.
All right.
Okay, got you. All right, 10. Thank you so much. Let me play this clip. Ooh, what is going on? I know I've been at work all day, and I don't know what y'all been doing, but you could have invited me to the party. Because right now, I don't even understand what you guys are talking about.
Hey, Lisa, I figured it out. Lisa, I figured it out.
Look at a globe on your table. You got a globe. Everybody got a globe. Look at the globe on your table. It's that simple. Look at a globe, your latitude and longitude lines. Those lines run north, south, east, west.
Breaking news. Lisa, it's the solstice. This is why this is happening.
Okay, Scotty, thank you.
Some breaking news before you play the tape.
Yes, Miss Deborah.
Mahmoud Khalil is out. He's released from detention.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's on bail, right?
Can you tell them who he is? Because there are some people in there who don't know who this person is.
Yeah, he's the one that was detained. No, I can't tell you specifically.
He was a Colombian student protester.
Yeah.
He was one of the first detained by Trump with this immigration crackdown. He was kidnapped away from his pregnant wife. And they fought really hard to try to get him back because he was put in a non-disclosed location and all that stuff. So they finally got him to where he needs to go, and now he's out on.
Okay, and also breaking news here. As of 30 minutes ago, the Israeli military is saying that they're being hit again by Iran. I thought Iran was going to run out of toys. And everybody, of course, is to get into the bomb shelters until further notice. And then I go down the timeline here. So far, as of 4 hours ago, so somebody said while I was driving that Israel is trying to hide or trying to suppress anything that's coming out of there as far as any damage that's been done by Iran. So as of 4 hours ago, 33 people were physically injured by a strike from Iran on, how do you say this, Scotty? Haifa? Is it Haifa? Haifa. In northern Israel, according to figures shared with CNN, one person is serious condition. So these bombs, or these missiles rather, are definitely getting through, but we don't know the extent of the damage because they're not allowing the damage to be reported. Is that what you guys are saying? Am I correct with that?
So some are Haitian. Come on, Mike.
Their hospital got hit. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday?
Yesterday. It was yesterday.
Haitian.
Yeah. Here's the irony.
Haitian, and Patty's calling you. Can you hear this?
No, so the reason, Lisa, I don't know if you had heard, Patty had mentioned that it's protocol to employ standard practice to want to not have media or want to have media suppression in terms of the damage that is happening. So it isn't tip the hand to the aggressors to be able to target other areas.
So the reason why I wanted you to come off Mike Haitian.
What up?
This is normal protocol when there's when you're having a conflict, right? Where they turn off the internet because they don't want. Like, for civilians, it sounds like they're being suppressed.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, that's normal protocol. It's been normal protocol for us, right?
Yep.
You have to wait until the actual. So I can see, and I know Haitian can see. When you're deployed, I can see that building A in front of me was hit by a mortar round. That's what Patty's gonna say. So if we have internet, or Patty won't call home. But what happens is there's other people around you that might call and be like, "Yo, we just got hit by a mortar," or yada yada yada. And my homegirl lived in a chew that was, or lived in a tent that was adjacent to that area.
Patty, don't forget that the Taliban were tracking U.S. soldiers off of Fitbits.
Right. So that's why they cut everything off. They're not doing nothing to suppress the people. They're trying to suppress the information. Like, that's intel. They want to make sure that the families are actually contacted first, because the government wants to do that. They want to control the narrative, and they also want to protect certain strategic shit that may have happened to maybe not make it look like it's as bad, because they don't want the enemy to think like, "Oh, we got you, bro."
I wanted to ask this question about I wanted to ask this.
100% spoil. I get that. I know they also passed a law to criminalize the citizens. But my issue is, I get that, but they still allow international journalists there. They refuse to allow any journalists in Gaza.
Yeah, but journalists still can't even tell everything, right?
Yeah, but they're there. They're not allowing any journalists in Gaza. None. Zero. Unless you vet it right now. And then censored. And then whatever they report has to go through Israel's censors. At least they have journalists on the ground there in Israel. It's not. You're not allowed in Gaza. And if they do allow a Fox or somebody there with their IDF, and then their report has to be censored. There's no.
So the same happens on our side, Levon. I don't think you understand that. So like, my first deployment was Warhorse, right? Warhorse was an area where they had a lot of loss when it came to the Marines. Okay, so even though you may think a journalist is in certain areas, they're not in every area. And then there's certain things that they cannot report. It's the same thing. It just
that was different. I'll post articles. It's all international.
How do you know that it's different when you have never been deployed, Levon?
I have many people in the center.
I don't care if you got many people. Was your many people in command? I'm telling you how it goes. Let me tell you a secret, bruh. I used to get freaking briefed. We'd have to get briefed through VTC from the fucking general that was over Iraq about what the fuck our soldiers were doing. So, like, if shit gets cut off, we can get all the information within 24 hours and still have everything cut off in 48 hours. So you don't know, like, you're talking from your living room. And you may be talking because somebody's giving you a little bit of information, maybe not telling you the whole truth. But shit gets cut off. Y'all got to stop pretending that this is not a normal thing. This is normal.
That wasn't my argument, Patty. I agree that it's normal. What I'm saying is there are still journalists allowed in Israel. There are none allowed in Gaza. And I'm going to post the articles. Why?
And that's fine. There was none allowed in Warhorse. There was none allowed on Falcon. There was a whole bunch in Baghdad that would go out with the Baghdad soldiers that had salsa night. The fucking journalists that were with military troops were in Baghdad. They weren't at the COP with motherfucking Haitian. I can bet you that. Because they're not allowed over there. They're not in fucking Warhorse because they're not allowed over there. They wasn't in fucking Ramadi because they ain't allowed over there. When they was with these fucking vehicles, they were coming out of Victory. They weren't coming out of Falcon. They weren't coming out of Kalsu. They wasn't coming out of
Why were there more soldiers killed in Gaza?
LeVon, you right, bruh. You right, sis. You right. No, because you're still arguing a point that doesn't make sense. Why would they allow them in Gaza when the fucking shit is fucked up over here? It's an ongoing war.
Yeah, but you need to report. The International Journalists Association worldwide has stated more journalists has been targeted and killed in Gaza in a year than 50 wars. In 50 years. I will post it. It's not what I'm saying. That's what their own journalists, wartime correspondents are saying. That's not me.
So you think they're being targeted by the IDF? You don't think they're being targeted by Hamas?
I think...
Let me tell you something, sis. I'm fucking Muslim. So let me tell you something. I don't fuck with Hamas. I don't fuck with BB either, but I really don't fuck with Hamas.
That's even an argument about Hamas. I can't stand them. I'm saying...
Yeah, but the thing is, why would they be in Gaza, sis?
Why not? Excuse me.
They would be in Gaza when it's calm. We've seen them when it's calm. But when them flyers are coming out the plane, they're fucking forcing them out. Why would they have them there during a combat?
There was during the
news is new. You go into Gaza and you report. You report wherever there are things occurring.
It don't work like that, Ken. It don't, babe. Listen, I get y'all think it does.
All right.
I get y'all think it does. It doesn't work like that.
Yes, it works like that, ma'am. Listen, if there's a big attack in the Bronx, somebody has to report.
Okay, you're right.
You know what I said? Just report the thing.
Dude, you guys aren't even listening.
They ain't never been nowhere, so they think they know the fucking rules of engagement. It doesn't work like that. But you know what? Since y'all think that reporters can be just any and every fucking where, guess what? You put certain lives in danger. So certain areas, they are going to be restricted. And I agree. They shouldn't be in Gaza when war is going on. Because I wouldn't want you in certain parts of fucking Iraq or fucking Afghanistan or fucking parts of Syria when certain shit is popping on.
Give them proximity though. They still gotta
be protected. Why do y'all think that they don't gotta be protected? Go ahead.
Let me put this to rest real quick, right? So, regardless of what we think, certain things happen a certain way. If you look up the reporter Michael Hastings, he was with my unit at one point, right? We didn't take him everywhere with us. A reporter from Rolling Stone, and he's I'm not going to go into too much detail. You can look him up yourself and see he was mysteriously passed away. And yeah, anyway. But in the military, you have fucking photographers and reporters in the military also that get embedded with units when shit's about to pop off, and they're the ones sending footage back and dealing with the media.
And we could control that narrative.
And the last time somebody was really with a unit and fucked things up was Geraldo when he was drawing out with the sand in the sand where the fuck the soldiers were at on national TV.
I don't know why people be thinking that this is not suppression. This is what has to happen.
I'm saying you know, but Patty, to be fair, you could say it's suppression, but we have to say, okay, when shit pops off, that's protocol.
Right,
and like it or not, it is what it is.
Okay, so you are right. It would be suppression of certain information because it's highly guarded, right? Something could be classified, go from classified to fucking top secret or secret, right? Yeah. So we can't allow them to do certain things. That's just not feasible. I don't know why y'all think
that's even people in uniform. Not every soldier is on the same fucking the same need to know basis. The same access. Some soldiers aren't going up in the jock and seeing what's going on in it.
The only reason why the United States government allowed fucking journalists to go with them, to me, I felt like it was a campaign to get more soldiers to join. We have our own PAOs. We have our own PAOs. We have our own public affairs officers. So if we wanted fucking information to get out, the Department of Defense has their own PAO. And we could filter the information. The reason why they let Fox News, this person, to try to be quote unquote transparent. But these motherfuckers ain't everywhere with soldiers, trust me.
I'm not sure why civilians would think that they need to play-by-play everything that's happening. I mean, you have to not let all the secrets out. So why should everything be publicized?
You don't need everything to be publicized, but what you do need is some independent verification of what has occurred. And whilst I get what Patty's saying and what Haitian's saying, countries do allow reporters to go in and see what's happened after the aftermath. Clearly, you don't want to give everything away, but if you don't allow journalists to report on what they're seeing and then you shoot them, people question what you tell them.
And Levon, how do you know if this protocol is different than other protocols? You ain't never read the protocol. And if you have, let me know. Tell me what the Milford message was, or what the SIG Act was that you read.
Patty, I was agreeing with what you said. That's what.
No, but you said this is next level. How is it next level? Have you ever read a SIG Act?
Go read the links and then I'll come back and talk to you.
I don't give a damn about no links. The links don't produce SIG Acts. The links don't produce SIG Acts. It don't produce Milford messages. It don't produce PERSCOM messages. It don't produce none of that. It don't produce op-ords. It don't produce old plans. It don't produce fragos. Y'all only get what you need to get.
The international.
Y'all get cookies and ice cream, and we might give you some fucking milk with it sometimes. Sometimes it might be goddamn almond milk. Sometimes it might be real milk. Sometimes it's fucking water. That's what the fuck we give you.
So why is the media there in the first place? If the military has all these capabilities, which they do, the ladies, right? They don't need the media there in the public.
It's a campaign to allow citizens to feel like they are doing the right thing. Bush started that shit because when he fucking sent them soldiers to Iraq without Congress approval, he said, let me send Geraldo. He's real famous and everybody likes him. Let me send this motherfucker. He sent them as the fucking campaign, I love the army type shit. And they doing the right thing. And let's because people were saying certain shit. Or why are we going to fucking Iraq? Everybody was on board with Afghanistan because of what happened with 9/11. But when Iraq happened in 2003, which would have been 2 years later, and he said, I'm going to send them fucking soldiers over there, and then he had to beg Congress for some fucking money so that the soldiers could keep moving forward because they're already in the middle of fucking Iraq. He had to fucking put a campaign out there for a reason.
Am I getting allowed to say something?
Go ahead. But if you say one more thing about some goddamn newspaper articles, I'm fucking bouncing because honestly, I'm fucking sick of this shit.
But you can say what you have to say and we can disagree and agree to disagree. But what I am telling you is...
I'm not telling you how to fucking do a transfusion.
I'm not stopping you from telling me and I'm not going to yell at you.
Yeah, but I wouldn't know.
But I wouldn't limit you trying to tell me. You can tell me what you feel.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I'm not that nigga though.
And
because I'm not. Let me tell you something. Originally, I was a biology major. I done told y'all this shit, right? Because I was supposed to go pre-med. So my first degree, when I was in school, my bachelor's is biology. Then I went over to business. So yeah, I did some little medical terminology, biology and vertebrae. I did all my goddamn science and math classes. But I'm not going to tell you how to do your fucking job. And I'm not going to tell you that the newspaper said cookies and ice cream when it's motherfucking steak and fucking eggs.
But I'm never going to yell at you.
Okay, I got you, Levon. But you know let me tell you something, babe. Let me tell you something. If I already told you it ain't right and this is what actually happens, why are you going to try to tell me what the fucking New York Times told you?
Because
that's why I said, Haitian, please come off mic, because I did not want to, I wanted him to say this is what actually happens. Because I don't know if you're trying to play in my face. We can play in each other's face. I go to CENTCOM, you know that, right? I go to Tampa, and we can play in each other's face and we can have a conversation.
Ain't nobody trying to play in your face. I'm not even yelling.
I'm just saying, no, I'm not yelling. I'm being rude.
The links because
no, I'm being honest. We can have a conversation. I don't care about no links. Your links ain't got shit to do with fucking the messages.
Don't read it, but then don't bark at me by giving alternate view.
It's fine, but if I already told you, you only get so much information, and you try to tell me that this is what it says. I don't care what it says. I told you. This is why they do that. That's it, babe. I'm not making up no story. I ain't trying to protect the country because Iran do the same thing. Iran did it. Syria did it. United States of America did it. The UK did it. Why the fuck are we critiquing what Israel did?
Minnesota shooter. He had a letter from the FBI. He wrote to, I guess the FBI has, that Tim Walz wanted him to kill Senator Amy Klobuchar.
Crazy.
The fuck, man. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Can you repeat
and
that?
And now MAGA's gonna run with that, Haitian.
Haitian, can you repeat that?
Yeah. So the killer in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
In the letter that the FBI has, I guess it says that Tim Walz asked him to kill Senator Amy Klobuchar, whatever how you pronounce her name, the one from over there in Minnesota also. Klobuchar, yeah. Yep. So interesting. And I don't know if y'all saw it this morning. Well, I saw it this morning because I stopped in some piece of shit room. But they're saying that there's video footage of Carmelo Anthony and he wasn't physically harmed, right? But again, it's not released to the public. So, you know,
Pepe wasn't physically harmed. Okay,
so they're trying to say that
it's a lot going on the stage.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Haitian, they told us for another Pepe's room, but my thing is, the school said that they were not going to release that to the public. So how did they see the video?
So, like I told Pepe, first of all, so what happened is that I guess they released it. They allowed two supposed media organizations to watch it, right? Supposedly there, but like I said earlier, to them, I don't believe shit y'all have to say. Motherfuckers, you could see shit in your face and say it's not happening. But we supposed to believe you motherfuckers because you saying that you have the video? Fuck out of here, man. You go listen to the replay there earlier from today, man.
Okay, so it's a lot. I'm trying to follow. There's so much going on the stage. Can we put a pin in Carmelo Anthony and come back around to it? Because I don't know what happened. I was trying to figure out what was going on with the conversation between Levon and Patty. Because I left to go get some water, came back. I don't even know what was
playing on my top all day. That's the problem. Let me tell you something. First of all, then she put some Israel blocked international journalists. Let me tell you something, sis. You ever heard of troop movements? You ever heard of military positions? You ever heard of planned raids? Do you know why they're going to block or restrict journalists? Is to protect operational security. So what happens is the fucking news media takes certain shit and they fucking push it. BB is not a fucking good ass actor. But at the same time, there are people that have to plan and protect their own fucking troops. Iran did the same fucking thing. And guess what the media said? They're suppressing their people. No. Real-time media is gonna fucking aid the enemy. So if they have real-time media, guess who they fucking aiding? Hamas. Guess who they aiding? Hezbollah. So you can put all the fucking shit that you want in the fucking chat, but I'm gonna tell you now, sis, you still sound slow. I don't care about no fucking stopping the internet. Stop the fucking internet while they're fucking fighting. Stop the internet when 30 people die. Allow them to fucking come up with whatever fucking narrative they need to come up with and fucking notify the families with what happened to their children.
You're talking so much you don't even understand what I'm saying. I never said anything but it.
Well, maybe that's what it is. You just put something in the fucking chat about them being blocked in Gaza. There's a reason.
All this cussing.
They went out to Gaza when the sun is out and the fucking ground is rubbled. I've seen it on TV just like you have. But anybody getting into there while they're fighting, those are people that slide their ass on in. A lot of times the government doesn't want them in that area. Hamas doesn't want them in that area. Israel don't want them in that area.
You got a headache, you can bust your blood pressure.
No, I'm not about to bust shit. You know what? I run every morning. My fucking labs come out great. I'm healthy, sis. I'm not busting shit.
Good job. But I'm not yelling at you. We can have a discourse without all that cussing and stuff.
Okay, so so can I ask this question? I'm hearing. So with that in mind, does that also apply for Iran? Because all of their information is coming out, like what got hit, how many buildings are down. So it doesn't, that same thing, does it apply to them? Because I'm getting ready to play you guys a little clip that I found, and it's really interesting how. And now I'm starting to believe this stuff about mainstream media, y'all, because the stuff that I find sometimes when I'm digging and doing research, we hear nothing about over here. We don't get any of this news over here. And I'm wondering why we don't hear this. So maybe it is true that some of these these Trump supporters come in and say mainstream media, you guys are only hearing what they want you to hear. But that goes for the other side too, as far as I'm concerned, because I don't see it coming off on Fox.
Yep.
So I'm going to play this because there's actually some shit really happening. And I don't know if Scotty's in here. I don't know. He doesn't know anybody in there. I think he said he does know somebody who is currently in Israel at this point.
Yeah, it's my family. They're in the north of Israel, and I also have my high school friend in Jerusalem and a couple of friends in
Because I'm seeing on this some real severe damage. And is it safe to say that this is correct, that there's some real severe damage in Israel?
I mean, I'm sure there is, but we're not getting a lot of media. I mean, people are in bunkers. I see the messages they post, but that's about it. I mean, there's not much.
Okay, so let me play this, and I've only vetted a little bit of it. I haven't vetted it all the way through. So hopefully this is going to be what I think it's going to be. So let me see. Make sure.
Iran's military might continues to keep the world guessing. No one truly knows the full extent of its arsenal, and the latest strikes on Israel has proven just how dangerous the uncertainty can be. According to the US, Iran has the largest ballistic missile inventory in the Middle East. From drones to cluster bombs and Fatah missiles, Iran is leading Israel with a highly capable range of weapons. On June 19th, Iran launched a missile strike against Israel, but what followed was a stunning revelation. The missile released 20 submunitions that detonated across a wide radius, a signature effect only possible with one weapon, the cluster bomb. The Israel Defense Force confirmed that at least one projectile in the missile barrage carried a cluster bomb warhead. For the first time since the conflict began, Iran deployed cluster munitions against Israel. A cluster bomb is unlike a regular missile. First used during World War II, these weapons were designed to destroy multiple military targets spread across a wide area. A cluster munition is an explosive device that releases smaller submunitions during flight. While traditional missiles are typically guided and detonate upon impact with a specific target, cluster bombs are unguided. They open mid-air, scattering smaller bombs over a broad zone, often threatening civilian areas. Iran possesses a diverse range of aerial weaponry, and the latest addition to its arsenal is the cluster bomb.
Can I ask
what source is this? Cluster bomb carry less explosive power than a traditional missile. Their ability to strike multiple targets at once makes them particularly dangerous. An even more alarming concern is that not all
Okay, that's what I thought. But they're showing, I don't know where this footage is coming from, but they're showing buildings and stuff that have been destroyed in Israel, and it's very severe damage.
What's this news source, Lisa?
This is CNN News 18. Okay. CNN News 18.
Cool thing too. Yeah, I mean, honestly, so they're attacking civilians. Cluster bombs are mainly used for indiscriminate, non-targeted bombing. So I would say that's for attacking civilians. There's a difference. I mean, yeah, they're definitely dangerous, but this just shows why I think the United States and Israel has a duty to nerf these people. Nerf Iran, and nerf,
nerf?
Limit their capability of spreading terrorism and having a nuke and having such a large ballistic missile arsenal.
There's some caveats with respect to the cluster bombs, though. There are a number of countries who have not agreed not to use cluster bombs. In other words, they have not signed any contracts saying that they would not use them. We're on that list. Iran's on that list. Israel's on that list. So, that reporting potentially was a little skewed.
What's the definition of nerf, Haitian and Patty? What does that mean?
What happened?
Said that they should nerf. We got a new guy on the stage, another doctor. There's so many doctors, more than I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Nerf is kind of like limit, kind of, Nerf is like, Nerf guns. It's not Nerf is like a kind of a word for kind of making their power, limiting their power, basically.
Yeah,
limiting its power.
So who say nerf though? You say nerf Iran?
The Iranians, yeah, the Iranian government, the mullahs.
So how are they going to nerf them without doing the same to the civilians?
Well, like what they're doing right now, they're using, America and Israel. We have typically we have pretty precise weaponry, and so if you look, we're limiting casualties, civilian casualties, and more or less targeting, military infrastructure and military leaders.
You weren't being searched by nuking. You just saying neutralize them.
Nerf, man. So Iran is one of the leading sponsors of terrorism. They support Hamas, they support Hezbollah, they support the Houthis. Yeah, of course, that's a common knowledge. And so, so with them doing that, we don't want them having a nuclear bomb because, thank you, that really increases the likelihood of them not only attacking Israel, but really giving this bomb material, like a dirty bomb to one of these, it'd be like ISIS possibly getting a nuclear bomb. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I'm very familiar with Iran.
Okay, I hope.
But I don't think it should be nuked. Yes, it needs to be
nuked, not nuked, nerfed, not nuked. We're not talking about nuking Iran. I'm not talking about that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've only heard nerf when it comes to like online gaming wars and like Call of Duty and shit like.
Yeah, and my doctor doesn't recommend me playing Call of Duty, so I just play NBA 2K and Madden. So.
Oh, you played Madden? I will fucking Haitian. We gotta play. I will fucking destroy.
Haitian, NBA 2K. I can beat you with one hand tight.
I already told you guys, don't even try it around me.
Please.
Okay?
Please.
Hey, whenever you're ready.
Unless you got permission, okay? Haitian will run down.
Which one you gonna play?
Hey, not Call of Duty, not the first person shooters, but the NBA. Yeah. Both you and Scotty could be on the same team.
I could be, you could be on the same team.